3, 2, 1.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Let's Dig In podcast. I'm your host, Chef Rich Rosendale. I'm joined by our co-hosts, Christopher Ryloff and Rachel Barnett. And today I got my Pittsburgh hat on, and that's because we are going to be talking with Ryan Peters out of Pittsburgh. He really exploded this year on TikTok with his Peters Pasta TikTok handle. And I know a lot of you are kind of a little bit maybe not as familiar with TikTok as you are Facebook and Instagram. And I know a lot of people are kind of slow to embrace yet another social media platform. It's like, it's so hard to keep up with the existing ones. But hey, listen, there's different ways to reach your audience. And what I'm really excited to talk to Ryan about today is really how he just kind of saw in his mind's eye what this could really develop into. And sometimes success can just run out from under you. And he clearly has had incredible success. I mean, he has over 1.5 million followers on the platform. And by the time you watch this, it's probably going to be pushing 2 million. But anyway, we wanted to talk to him and find out, like, what is it that people react to on TikTok that is different than other media platforms? So before we get started, I also want to say thank you to our title sponsor, Vitamix. We're huge fans of all their blenders. In fact, we're getting ready to roll out 2 new restaurants in southern part of Florida. It's at the Residence Club. And there we're going to be using their blenders, the Vita Prep 3, the Excel, and the Quiet one, which has the same power that you would expect from Vitamix, but it's much quieter. So anyway, let's dig in with Chef Ryan Peters. It is great to be able to talk with you again. And man, you have had a crazy year, exciting year. I mean, obviously you've had a big thing having the baby and the TikTok, and obviously we're going to kind of get into that a little bit later. But for those of our audience that might not know as much about your background, why don't you kind of give us a little bit of an overview, like how you kind of got started in cooking, where you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a pretty traditional kind of route. I went to culinary school. You know, I've always wanted to, be a chef, be cooking. I've always been passionate about it. Went to culinary school, went to IUP here in Pennsylvania. And then from there, kind of got right out and went to the Ocean Reef Club in Key Largo to do my externship and kind of learn some things there. Spent about 6 months there and then moved to Pittsburgh for the first time and worked in just like a small independent restaurant under Kevin Sousa for a little over a year.
Okay.
And then from there, kind of just building good relationships. Ever since I left Ocean Reef after my externship, they were always calling me back. And eventually I took them up on that call, and my wife and I moved back there. And that's where I spent about like 3.5 years at the Banquet Sous chef. Really just kind of learning the ins and outs of running an operation of that magnitude and kind of creating different opportunities for myself and networking, and just kind of being as immersed into the industry as I can. And then from there, I moved to Pittsburgh, which is where I live now. And opened up, which is crazy, opened up my own restaurant of my own inside of a food hall. So it's an interesting concept. Basically, at the time, the food hall would rotate out 4 different restaurants every year to kind of give you the opportunity to open up your own business, but very low cost. So basically, there was no build out. You basically just move in with your concept and kind of test it out and see if it's something that you want to pursue after that year. So I was able to learn how to run a business and kind of learn, the other side of the restaurant of, not the cooking, but the business management. So that was super valuable as well. And then from that year, I moved on to another restaurant, and that's kind of when I started really getting into the whole pasta making passion, which is where I'm at now.
So, and Ryan, where are you originally from?
Yes, I'm originally from Reading, Pennsylvania, which is like 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. I was just kind of curious, like what was kind of the intrigue? It seemed like Pittsburgh it seems like it kind of kept like pulling you back. And for me, I'm from Uniontown, spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh over the years. Obviously, like it's a hometown, a lot of cool ethnic restaurants. What was kind of was it maybe just because of the IUP connection kind of early on?
Kind of, but when I was at the Ocean Reef for my externship, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she was working in Pittsburgh as a pastry cook. So that's why I moved back up to Pittsburgh. The first time was to be closer to her. And when we lived here the first time, I really fell in love with the city. It's kind of a small, big city.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of really great community aspects to it. And the food scene is incredible as well.
One of the cool things that I always remember, like when I was younger, was kind of driving through the tunnel. And it's almost, I don't know, I feel like the approach going into Pittsburgh is unlike pretty much any other city. And it's like just whenever you're going through this long approach and then boom, it's like the city is right there on the other side. It's
it's amazing for sure.
So, so Ryan, obviously, you know, I think first time I met you was down at Ocean Reef. I mean, obviously, I've had a long connection there, a lot of friends over the years, and I could tell just from the very brief interaction with you that you know you had a really strong work ethic. That I knew you were going to do great things, and it was just kind of, I guess, as a result from those first interactions. I mean, I kind of followed you from afar, and you know these days it's kind of easy to do that with social media.
Sure.
But man, I mean, we were going to be talking about a lot about TikTok today, but I almost kind of feel like that whole section, that whole time in your career, whenever you launched the restaurant in Pittsburgh, I remember watching that, and some of the food that you were posting looked awesome. Did that experience kind of make you maybe lean more toward wanting to do a restaurant, or maybe more toward not doing one? I mean, because, you know, you talked about the business aspect of it.
Sure.
And, you know, restaurants look attractive, but when you really get into the nitty gritty, it's very hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely opened up my eyes to a lot. That's for sure. It taught me, you know, so much about what it means to run a restaurant, because it's unlike any other business. And I wouldn't say that it deterred me from ever opening up a restaurant again, but it definitely slowed it down a little bit. I'm definitely not jumping into that anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, obviously with 2020, as you know, I mean, restaurants have been like right in the crosshairs of COVID. And man, oh man, so many of our peers have been having a rough year with that.
Yeah, it's been tough for sure.
So despite the chaos in 2020, I mean, you've kind of found a way. I mean, obviously, you've been doing a lot of great things, but I mean, I really feel like this year you kind of like really like made your mark and found the TikTok as far as being kind of that outlet for reaching like so many people. I mean, did you, in your mind's eye, did you really think that like, hey, this platform has like incredible reach, or were you just kind of like during COVID, it just kind of just happened? Like, kind of how did this all launch?
Yeah. So TikTok's been a very interesting journey. When I first heard of it, it was last June. I had my little brother and his girlfriend out here to Pittsburgh to visit my wife and I, and he's a college age kid, and he obviously knew what TikTok was, and I had no idea. But that's all they were talking about. So I eventually downloaded it when they were out here with us, and so we're scrolling through it, but never posted on it. And then it was last September when I posted for the first time. And I mean, I got lucky, but from my first video, the first video went viral. I think I got 500,000 views overnight.
Really?
Wow. In your first video?
In my first video.
Holy.
So seeing that, I was like, wow, there might be something here. You know, I had never seen anything like that with Instagram. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's not happening on Instagram.
No, not at all. So I took things slow in the beginning, the first couple of weeks or so. I wasn't posting every day. I was just kind of posting every now and then, and my videos were doing okay. And then it was last December, so about a year ago, is when I started really seeing some crazy traction. I saw, views in the millions almost consistently on videos. And that's when I really started taking things seriously and posting almost every single day, and really, really building a crazy audience.
So for you, it was kind of more like right out of the gate. I mean, you saw the momentum, like pretty much.
Kind of. It was weird. I mean, there was definitely some strong momentum in the beginning. But I was just talking with another creator the other day, and for me, it took me almost a year to hit 200,000 followers, and then very, very quickly after that, I exploded. I basically went in just this past October, on October 1st, I was around 400,000 followers. And then by the end of October, I was at 1.2 million.
Wow.
So in like about 3.5 weeks, my account just blew up and went crazy. And that just shows the power of, the crazy algorithms and the crazy exposure that TikTok, gives out.
You mentioned too, which I love this, is talking to another creator. And it really is you are a creator, because I remember it was like the other day I was like scrolling through LinkedIn, and there was like, I don't know, it was like all kinds of comments, somebody posting about the dog face, the guy that was the big cranberry juice on the skateboard, and how his life had kind of changed. And a lot of people were kind of hating on the success the guy had. But, the reality is this is another medium to express yourself. And
Absolutely.
you really are creating content, and figuring out what that is that people respond to. There's a skill there, and it's really no different than entertaining through doing a cooking demonstration or a television show or whatever it is. You're creating content. So I just thought that was kind of noteworthy, just whenever you mention creator, because I think a lot of people just dismiss that the art of that. So
it really is. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. I gave it like a week. And I tried. It's hard. It's hard to, for chefs who were all about perfection and everything's got to look perfect, be perfect, or my nails cut, or my, because the camera catches everything. And then you can catch yourself like re-recording for hours and hours and hours. Like, how does creating look for you?
Yeah, it's tough. Because I'm still, as of right now, working full-time in a restaurant as a chef, and then still doing this then on the side as another almost full-time job. So it's tough. It's a lot of time management, prioritizing, scheduling, and just trying to make things as easy and efficient as possible for myself. But it's still a struggle every single day, just trying to manage my time and get videos where I want them to be. And like, I'm not at this point now, I don't post every single day almost because, I'm working on a video and it's just not quite where I need it to be yet. So I skip a day and, just trying to get things where I need it to be.
You said that you're also a chef in a restaurant. Can TikTok be a viable source of income? Like, could you ever see yourself just being focused on TikTok?
Yeah, for sure. And I know lots of people that do, they just support themselves off of TikTok, and there's definitely tons of ways to monetize. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't. But for me still, there's no way I could survive off just that right now, but who knows down the road what could happen.
So Ryan, you talked about managing your time. And I've seen that on social media, you and your wife have had a baby this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, I remember when I had my firstborn and it was just like the world just changed. It was almost like the schedule, like middle of the night was like, couldn't ever get any sleep. It's hard. So has that been difficult to be able to find time, in the house or where maybe at work? I'm not sure where you do all your posts, but has that been kind of difficult managing that?
Yeah, it's definitely been a change. That's for sure. I wouldn't say it's been difficult. It's just been having to adapt to it. It's just new life event, another source of my time that needs to go elsewhere. So again, it's just a matter of, managing it and creating schedules for myself and sticking to that and being able to give the time where the time is needed. But, I'm someone that's always have thought how valuable time is. And I value my time immensely. So I try not to waste it and try to use it as effectively as I can.
How would you say that your food style has kind of changed over the years, and especially going into pasta? So like,
yeah, It's changed crazy. I mean, right out of culinary school, my whole plan was, fine dining. I want to be a 3 Michelin star chef. I have all these dreams and aspirations, and that's changed. That's changed for sure. And I still love that food. I, respect it like crazy. I enjoy eating it. I get inspired by it daily by watching the chefs that I follow that do that. But for me, I don't know. About 2 years ago is when I really started focusing on pasta, and I just, fell in love with it. I've always enjoyed pasta. I come from an Italian family, but that was never crazy about it. But I don't know. I just fell in love with it and fell in love with the simplicity of it. Because really, at its core, pasta is so simple. I mean, you guys know that it's, it can really just be flour and water. But when it's done right, it still takes some finesse and some technique and some patience and some skill. And when it's done properly, it's just this incredible thing. So I fell in love with that and just kind of decided to, shift my focus towards that, just because, even still, I'm learning every single day. There's so much I don't know about pasta that it's this never ending journey.
Have you been in Italy?
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
The plan was to go. Yeah.
I know. The plan was to go this year, and then obviously we know how 2020 went, but right. Hopefully soon.
You mentioned earlier the food scene in Pittsburgh and how incredible it is. How has that changed since the pandemic has started?
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh, just like every other city, has been hit hard. I'm fortunate enough where I work right now. It's a place called Ironborn. And at its core, it's a Detroit style pizzeria. And when my buddy, who is the owner, he opened it last December. Before he opened, he wanted to add a pasta program to the restaurant. So that's why he kind of reached out to me and we teamed up to do that. But yeah, I mean, we're lucky. We can survive on takeout. Pizza travels really well. People already do pizza takeout, and we can add some pasta in there too. So we're lucky, and hopefully we'll make it through. But there's so many of my friends and peers that, this is just rocking them. And it's tough to see, but hopefully as many of us will get through as we can.
Okay. What's your opinion on takeout pasta? Because you said takeout pizza. I need to know what's your opinion on takeout pasta.
I was going to ask the same.
Yeah. So when this first started, when the pandemic first hit, we were just doing takeout. I totally got rid of pasta from the menu just because it doesn't travel that well. And then when things opened up and we got some limited dine-in, we brought it back. And then they just shut down dine-in again last week. So now we're still doing like one or two options of pasta of the things that travel the best out of all of them. But I mean, pasta does not, it doesn't do well takeout. I mean, people are always like messaging me and stuff, asking for me to do like Alfredo and stuff to go. And it's just like, it's not going to work.
Especially in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
People love their pasta in Pittsburgh.
When I was in Italy, they literally say pasta doesn't wait. So
that's the thing.
Whoever served first at the table, you don't wait on anybody else. You start eating right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we were opening up the restaurant last year, when we were like doing training with staff, I was making sure all the servers know, hey, listen, when I put this pasta up in the window, it needs to walk. I don't care if everything else isn't ready. It's got to go.
It's got to go. Yeah.
Chef, what do you think that has been the biggest challenge in 2020 for you? I mean, talking about challenge, we have COVID that I don't know if it was a challenge or a barrier, like that you have to just jump and keep improving. You just got a new baby and TikTok just blew up, like you said, and everything demands a little bit of time, right? So which one you think that was like the biggest challenge that for you?
I mean, here's the thing. I think with how 2020 went with, COVID and then the baby and then now TikTok, everything, these are all, different hurdles, but, it's how we react to them, I think. So, I mean, they're all challenging for sure, but I've just learned to adapt. Obviously, it stinks that, had this all not happened, with the pandemic in 2020, there could have been so many other new opportunities. I could have been traveling the world with TikTok and, meeting up with people and going to Italy and furthering my pasta career and all that stuff. But, we take it as it is. And, it's tough, but at this point now, I don't look at it as a challenge. It's just, moving through it and making the best out of it. Like, yeah, it sucks, but, we're making it through, and I don't know, we're almost to 2021. So
Right.
Well, when the
Thank
world is
God.
safe again,
yeah,
get a hold of me. I've got a place in Italy. The school over there. We'll get you over
perfect.
there. We'll get you
I
making
need to.
pasta over there.
Yeah, Rachel's very connected in Italy. They would
It's
love to have
amazing.
you.
For you, Chef, for you, has this been an influencer? Because you're pretty big on Instagram. I don't know if you have Twitter. I'm not. I don't use much Twitter, but in talking about Instagram and TikTok, you're pretty big in both of those platforms. Like you said, a little bit. TikTok is a little bit. It blew up much better
Yeah.
than Instagram, but you're still big in both. Has being an influencer be like, is it harder for you and your family? I'm talking about from the standpoint that you get haters, you get fans, you get any kind of like different people talking to you. So is that hard, or has been harder for you, for your family in general?
It's been interesting. Obviously, it's been very weird, having different people as like fans and stuff. It's something I never would have thought of, a year ago. I didn't think that this was how my life would be right now. And then when you say haters, yeah, I mean, I get people that message me all the time saying, I remember when I hit 1 million followers on TikTok, it came out of nowhere. Like my TikTok, when I hit 1 million, was blowing up, and I didn't expect it. I didn't forecast it yet. And I was super excited, obviously, and I was proud of it. 1 million is a huge milestone. So obviously I was posting it on my Instagram, kind of sharing it with my friends and family. And I had tons of people messaging me like, nobody cares, stop promoting this, shut up and cook. And it's just like, you don't have to follow me.
Right.
You could press unfollow.
Right.
It's funny how they
and
waste time telling you that.
Yeah, like it is what it is. And there's always going to be people that are negative and that, it's
Right.
jealousy or whatever it is. But it's more so the positives that have come out of all of it that is, super enjoyable for me and for my family to see, just how many people I'm able to reach and that are just genuinely excited for me and what I'm doing and support what I'm doing. So that's been the coolest thing and the most humbling thing.
That's awesome. That's great to know.
And I'm sure you've made so many, connections and new friends through.
Oh, it's amazing. And that's the one thing that kind of stinks with 2020 is, I have all these new connections and stuff now around the world that, we all want to collaborate with and we want to meet up, and we can't right now. But yeah, some of the connections I've made and just some of the people that I've been able to connect with, like I could never imagine that. Like right now I'm working with the NFL, and that's like, I was talking to my mom last night about it, and I was like, this is like, I had to like pinch myself last night. Like, this is the NFL. It's just, it's amazing what has happened in the past year.
That's great.
And in Pittsburgh, that carries a lot of clout in Pittsburgh, because you know how they love their football too.
Pittsburgh's a Steelers town, and it's been insane.
But by any chance, whenever you go, I know that everyone is kind of like in lockdown and everything, but whenever you go out, do you get recognized by strangers or like people that ask you like, oh, is that like, I don't know, Peter Pasta, and can we have a picture or something like that?
Yeah, so I've had probably at least a dozen people that have come into the restaurant
awesome, and
asked for me or taken pictures or whatever, which it's very weird. I appreciate it. So it feels so weird. The best part is like right now, and this happens every single time I go, because obviously you guys have seen I use a lot of eggs. And the majority of the eggs I get are from Whole Foods. They have what I think is the best, most consistent.
Beautiful yolks.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And so when I'm going to Whole Foods, I'm buying usually, 10 to 15 dozen at a time. And obviously every time the cashier is just, shocked. Like, why are you buying so many eggs? And at this point now, there's one cashier at my local Whole Foods that she follows me on TikTok. And every time I come in, she's like, oh, here he is. So
that's very fun. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ryan, what about like advice for people that are maybe trying to build maybe a personal brand, or maybe even to use TikTok for their restaurant or for their business? Like, what kind of advice would you give somebody that maybe has kind of been a little reluctant about going onto the platform? About what advice would you give them about just getting started on the platform?
Yeah, no, and I've talked to tons of people at this point now, all my, fellow peers and colleagues and stuff in the industry. I'm telling everyone, get on TikTok, because TikTok is this really, really interesting platform right now. And I tell everyone, if you have a hobby, if you have an interest, if you're cooking, whatever, document it and post it. It doesn't need to be this super fancy. Like, I film everything on my iPhone. Like, you don't need fancy lights, just document it and post it. Because the cool thing about TikTok and the algorithm is everyone has the same chance to go viral. You could have 0 followers and post your first video and blow up. It's just the exposure level is insane. And I try to tell people this and try to show people, examples on my account, because it's unlike any other social media out there right now. I mean, you can't have the same success that people are having on any other platform. So I'm just telling everybody just to get on the account and start posting. If your first couple videos don't do well, just don't think about it and just keep posting, because the more it's just like playing the lottery. The more you play, the better your chances. So right. If you're not playing at all, then there's no chance and you can't complain.
Is that what you would say kind of made you move more toward TikTok, is just the reach, or that it's a different algorithm than, say, Instagram? Yeah,
I mean, the reach is much bigger than Instagram. And two, I mean, I just, at this point now, I'm very, I like the community that's on Instagram or on TikTok, excuse me. It's a super positive community, first off. And two, especially for us, the food community on TikTok is insane. There's so many incredible chefs and even just home cooks on TikTok. And everyone, for the most part, really supports each other. And kind of just bounces ideas off each other. So it's just this really cool community of people that I feel like more on like Instagram, it's more of just like posting your videos or your photos with filters and edits and trying to get likes and stuff, versus TikTok is more of just more friendly, like community-based atmosphere.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It feels more authentic, I guess, because I mean, people don't, it's not as much highly produced, it's funny. Just one of the guys that's on there that I enjoy watching, and he always puts everything on the cracker. He's like from Louisiana or something like that. But some of the stuff he makes, I'm like, that looks pretty good. He's making like jambalaya or whatever. But super cool.
For sure.
So you said earlier that you're Italian and that you have always liked pasta, but what really got you into that as your niche, as your TikTok niche?
So everybody always asks me, and I mean, for pasta, it was like 2 years ago, I was just making pasta for my wife and I at home. And for some reason, that batch of pasta that night came out like really, really well. So I ended up going 60 days in a row of making a pound of pasta every single night. I would come home from work, make a pound of pasta, usually roll it out the next morning. It was this cycle for about 2 months. I just got obsessive over it, and I'm not doing that anymore. That was a lot.
That was when you were selling it?
No, that was just, I was working.
That was before.
Yeah, this is at like a fine dining restaurant. I was just making it just to practice.
Were you guys eating it every day?
Yeah, I was eating it. We were freezing it. We were drying it. We had a lot.
God.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it was just kind of me. I was trying to learn those movements and the techniques and the muscle memory of it all. And yeah, so in those 2 months, I got pretty obsessive over pasta. And so when TikTok came along and I decided to make the account, it was a no-brainer to do pasta. And every now and then on TikTok, I'll branch out and I'll like make a video of me cooking a steak or something like that, just to remind other people that I don't just cook pasta. Right. I can cook other stuff. Right. But I've always got to bring it back to pasta somehow.
So you make we've seen your TikToks and you make all your pasta by hand.
Yeah.
The dough.
Mm-hmm.
Talk us through your process, because I know some chefs who put their dough in RoboCoops.
Yeah.
Tell me your opinion on that and then walk us through your process.
Yeah. So RoboCoops are good. And I know some people that use like a stand mixer as well, just to start it. And I've done that for like when I'm doing large volumes. If you're making, 50, 60 pounds of dough, you got to do something to help yourself. But even when I do that, if I would do it in a mixer, I would just do it, like 40, 50% of the way in there and then turn it out onto the bench and finish it there. But yeah, for what I'm doing now, the smaller batches, nothing beats making it by hand, just like the classic way. There's almost like a romance about it, of just kind of, I don't know. There's something about it that you can't get any other way.
Well, I think too, it's a total texture thing also.
Oh, 100%. You're creating these air cells and everything, and it's a much different mouthfeel of a dough than making it in a blender or a Roboku.
Yeah, for sure. And do you put oil in your dough?
I do not.
Okay. Just checking.
I do not. It's always funny on TikTok when like other accounts, like even just like random accounts that will post like a pasta making video with their pasta recipe. Everybody is always like tagging Peter's pasta. Like, is this okay? Is this okay? And it's always funny. It's just like, I mean, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just like, oh, it looks good, whatever. But it's always fun to see my mentions and stuff of people tagging me in other people's pastas videos.
Right.
That's awesome. Chef, what do you think? What do you see that is going to be the biggest trend for 2021?
Man, I think I don't know. I mean, TikTok at this point now is getting bombarded with different people and creators coming into the app. So just from the last year when I joined, I mean, TikTok has changed. There's so many more people on the app now, so it's a lot harder to get the following that people are looking for. It's tough. But I also see that as a big opportunity for, larger creators like myself to, get some big deals and get some work with some big companies, because at this point now, a lot of companies are looking to TikTok for their marketing budgets. And I think it's important to capitalize on that. And, for myself, I've had a few different companies I've been working with. And I made the decision about 3 months ago to, I would always have, random companies emailing me and messaging me wanting to work together. And a lot of them just don't make sense for what I do. I'm only want to working with brands that, make sense with my platform and align with Peter's Pasta. It needs to make sense. So I made a decision about 3 months ago to, make a list of companies or brands that I think I would like to work with. And I've decided to start, me shooting out an email to them instead of them reaching out to me and kind of saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I think there's a large, opportunity for your brand to get some awareness. And, 9 times out of 10, they at least have a conversation with me. Even if they don't have a presence on TikTok, they can see that, there's this opportunity here, and, I'm able to share my metrics and my analytics with them, and they can see, wow, okay, this is all the eyeballs that are on this channel right now. We need to look into this. So there's a big opportunity there for that.
Do you think that now that we're talking about TikTok, do you think that Reels is the same as TikTok? What is the difference between those two platforms? I mean, we know TikTok is just TikTok, right? Reels is a part of Instagram that, I would say that pretty much everyone knows that Reels got pushed like forward because TikTok was a big rumor that it was going to get banned in the US. And that was when Instagram took that opportunity to launch Reels. But what do you think that is the biggest difference between those two?
I think the biggest difference at its core is it's not TikTok. And people know that. And, I've experimented with Reels and everything, and I've seen some success on there. But at the end of the day, I think personally that people are on Instagram for a reason and they're on TikTok for a reason. And they're two different platforms. And when you try, just like I know YouTube has tried to do something similar to what TikTok is doing, at the end of the day, people are on each of these apps for a certain reason. And when you try to make this app like this app, it just doesn't work. Some people are going to have success with it, but overall, each app is there for a reason.
Right.
I don't know. I find myself just endlessly scrolling through TikTok and Reels. So.
Yeah.
I think a lot of creators, though, I've seen a lot of people that are really big on TikTok that as they're kind of trying to transition into Instagram, I think they've done better doing that than what I've seen in other platforms where people maybe had a big reach on YouTube, but maybe they've struggled a little bit to kind of go into Instagram. But I feel like a lot of TikTok creators have done well in doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I've seen a huge boost in my following too to Instagram. I've been able to push a lot of following over there. it's just a matter, I think, for me, of being strategic with how I do it. You know, when I post a video and I see very early on that it's going viral, you know, I try to get right into the comments right away and put a comment that says like, hey, go follow my Instagram, and try and push as many people as I can there. And it's just a matter of watching those things and being smart with it and capitalizing on it.
Right.
Well, Ryan, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be right back to continue the conversation with you.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody, I hope you're enjoying the episode with Ryan Peters. We're going to get right back to the conversation in just a minute. But real quick, I wanted to give you 2 updates of some exciting things that we have coming up on Rosendale Online. First, we're going to be launching our Sous Vide 1 class, along with video instruction and detailed recipes very soon will be available for all of our members. That's going to be all of our sous vide recipes from the entire class from Sous Vide 1. Also, I know that the holidays, everybody's indulging and eating ham and turkey and mashed potatoes and all this delicious food. And then come in early January, everybody wants to get back in shape and get fit. Well, I do too. So we are going to be putting on Rosendale Online lots of free recipes highlighting our Vitamix, everything from smoothies to healthy drinks and beverages. And these are all going to be free for anybody that wants to access them. So be watching for that early in the year after the holidays. And let's make 2021 a great year and recover from this hectic year we've had in 2020. All right, back to the conversation with Ryan Peters. All right, we are back here with Ryan Peters, continuing the conversation, and we are kind of in the midst of our TikTok conversation. And I'm kind of curious, is there any of the posts that you did this year that is one that is your favorite? And is there also any from other creators that you thought was just, man, really clever, really cool? What's your thoughts from this year?
Yeah, I mean, this year was crazy. I had a lot of great success, a lot of great videos. The one that I'll never forget is the one that, you know, blew me up. It was, you know, back in, I would say, beginning of October. I know you mentioned earlier about Dogface with Dreams and everything.
Yeah.
This was right around that time, and that song was obviously trending. And, you know, I try to use like all the different trending songs in all my videos. And I just so happened to use that song. And it was like many of my other videos, me with the flour and the eggs and mixing it all together. And I put a voiceover on it saying like, welcome to Pasta TikTok. And I remember I was sitting on my couch here, and it was around 9 o'clock at night when I posted it. And I remember looking at it, and I like, whenever I post a video, I'll like keep up on it for a little bit, see how it's doing. And 2 hours in, it had 2 million views. And I thought, this is something like that's never happened to me before. This was unheard of. And I said, wow, this is interesting. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to look at it anymore. And I went to bed, and I woke up with 12 million views on that video.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
which one was that one?
I'll send it over to you guys, but that video, I think right now is at like 34 or 35 million views.
Oh my God.
You know,
Holy
from
crap.
that, I've looked at the metrics on it. From that video alone, I gained 370,000 followers.
Unbelievable.
So I mean, that again,
amazing.
that video shows what, you know, can be done on the app.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I post videos like that all the time, but for some reason that video with that voiceover, with that song, like something aligned that made that video just go crazy. And so, yeah, that one is definitely memorable for sure.
So like, as far as like keeping up the momentum with it, is it difficult to like, do you have to be like really disciplined as far as like posting every day? I mean, you hear like Gary Vee with a lot of his social media strategies. It's like,
Sure.
Oh man, you got to be cranking out content like 10 posts a day, you know, on every platform.
Yeah.
Like how committed do you have to be to it?
I mean, everybody's different, right? And, you know, for me, for the majority of the past year, I was posting almost every single day, if not, you know, 2 to 3 times a day, just trying to push out as much as I could. And I think it's important to be as consistent as you can, just to kind of, you know, like you said, when you have that momentum, you don't want to lose it. You want to keep it going and keep your following engaged, and keep everybody around to see what the next video is and what the next video is. At this point though, now I've kind of slowed down a little bit just because I've changed, how I'm doing my content, trying to kind of refine things a little bit more. But yeah, I think consistency and being aggressive is definitely important.
What we'll do is we'll actually we'll put your TikTok video in the podcast so that everybody can check it out.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
It's amazing.
Ask you to tell us about your new merch that is launching or has launched already.
Yeah.
For our viewers who are listening only, he's got his shirt on that says "Send Nudes" and ODS, like noodles.
Yeah, absolutely, PG. So merch I've been teasing for a while, and it's finally here. It's launching hopefully by the middle of this week. And yeah, it's just kind of something that people have been asking for. Again, I never thought I would make a line of merch. It's crazy, but people are asking for it, and why not take advantage of it and capitalize on it? Again, like everything, just be aggressive with it. So yeah, I've got some shirts, some hats coming out, and then who knows? I mean, again, I don't know what to expect when I launch it. If it's gonna, I'll sell a couple or I'll sell out. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just trying to get as much brand awareness as possible right now, and stay relevant among my brand right now.
That's awesome. I can't wait to order one.
Where will people be able to find that at, Ryan? Is it going to be on?
I'll have a website. My website should be done by tomorrow. I have that being built right now. So that'll I want to have like a website as a landing spot for, recipes and,
Cool.
More, link to my TikTok, the merch, and then just kind of as like a resource to kind of bring all my platforms into one.
Awesome. Chef, what do you think about like talking about the age of TikTok, and how can you stand out from other creators on TikTok? And what would you say to other chefs that they should actually do?
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to, I'm lucky that I have this niche on TikTok of pasta, right? But there's a lot of chefs and other like fellow food creators I know that they're just on there as a chef, right? Or as a foodie or whatever, and they just cook all kinds of stuff. But I think it's important to, post whatever you want, but when you find something that sticks and something that, you really see some crazy, attraction to, like go 10 times harder into that, whatever that thing is. I have a good buddy, Matt. He's a cook named Matt on TikTok. And I remember I've known him for years, and he joined TikTok last year too. And I remember he was posting all kinds of stuff. He's a chef. And one day he posted a video of him cutting an onion, and it blew up. And he did just that. He went like crazy deep into just cutting things, and he's blown up, 4 or 5 million followers.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I think it's just important to find, post whatever, but when you find something that, you get some really great engagement to, there's a reason why people like that. So go deeper into that.
So would you say that, let's say, I don't know, one day for somebody talking in general, like one day just cut meat, then just do pasta, then just do that until you find something that is going to stick into the algorithm and kind of like it doesn't have to probably blow up like millions, but like a couple of 100,000, and then just go that route and just keep pushing that.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Also too, like I know some chefs on the app that they literally do something different every video, but for them that works. People love and they'll use people's comments to say, hey, cook an omelet today. Okay, make whatever, grilled cheese sandwich today. And it's just finding what works. It may not be the content that is consistent for you, but it may be your approach to the content and how you
like your style
stand in the video or exactly. Yeah. Just kind of building everyone has their own brand on TikTok, and that's cool. So it's just kind of establishing what that is and taking advantage of that.
Right. Do you think that age is like people's age is a problem, is an issue? I know that at the beginning TikTok was more like for, I don't know, 15 years old, 18 years old. Right now it's like, because of the pandemic, everyone started using it, or I use it to watch, and it's so much fun. But do you think that that's an issue anymore, or not really?
No, I think, like you said, at this point now, there's almost everyone's on TikTok. My mom's on TikTok. I think
that's great.
I think it's everybody is realizing that it's not just an app for kids anymore, dancing in their bedroom. It's, people of all ages all around the world doing all kinds of interesting things. I mean, there's some incredible people on TikTok, whether it be food or, craftsmen or all kinds of stuff, comedians that, it's for everybody. And there's definitely, a spot for everyone on the app.
Right.
Ryan, you said you've been reaching out to some like other different companies and stuff like that. I definitely feel like social media has now kind of just grabbed companies' attentions, and they know that that's something that they got to invest in with like their marketing. Do you think that like with TikTok that maybe some of the companies are still like they're starting to get it, or do you feel like a lot of them have been like totally open? Because TikTok is kind of a different, it's not like Facebook, like all the big companies are on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, it's still definitely new. And from a personal experience, some of the companies I reach out to, it seems like more of like the larger companies are at least familiar with TikTok and are more open to it. It's more of the smaller companies that I reach out to that, they may know of TikTok, but they think it's very odd that I'm reaching out and want to, work together or something. But I think it's just a matter then that puts it on me to kind of almost not even sell them myself, but sell them the app and the power of the app and you know what it can do and what marketing potential is there for them. But for the most part, I think that a lot of these companies are seeing the potential.
Do you think that, like, just a simple question, but like I want you to be completely honest right now, today, do you think that TikTok is a viable business, like something that it is, like for you, for example? Like, because I know that you said that in the future probably is going to be just that, your job, like to keep creating content and stuff like that, because you're going to be able to work with different sponsors and everything. And how does an influencer earn money on TikTok?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to make money on TikTok. First is there's the TikTok Creator Fund, which I think it's when you get 10,000 followers and maybe 100,000 likes, you can apply for. It's basically just a way to.
That's from TikTok.
Yeah, that's from TikTok. So they basically allocated, I think it's $2 billion to United States creators to basically you get paid per video now. It's like all this crazy metrics of based on your likes and your views and your engagement on the video. Yeah, so that's one way to make money off TikTok. But the biggest way is just working with different brands and companies and creating,
monetize
yeah, I mean, a lot of creators will work with a company like on the terms of like an affiliate program. And that's, not the most effective way to monetize, because that's more of like getting a kickback on like if someone buys their product. But it's more of getting like partnerships and different brand deals that is where you're going to really see, the large consistent money.
Awesome.
Have you cooked for the Steelers yet?
I have. Yeah. I've cooked for quite a few of them. I was lucky enough, Juju Smith-Schuster, he's become a good friend now. He's a big fan, and a few of these guys are big fans, and it's been cool to kind of connect with, people like that. And it's just crazy the networks that I've been able to bump into that I never thought would happen.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So great.
Do you ever sorry, go ahead, Chris.
You go first.
I was just going to say, I'm just curious too. I mean, for me, like I am a very disciplined person, but I go through the grocery store and I'm like, "Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that." I mean, do you ever sometimes like, man, I just feel like doing pizza now, or I feel like doing this? I mean, have you had a heart, being committed to like, in the sandbox, like this is the realm that I'm playing in now with the pasta? Do you ever kind of just get like pulled to want to cook different things?
No, I mean, I definitely, there's days that I'm like, man, I don't want to cook pasta today, or I don't want to make pasta today. And I mean, it's easy as that. I just don't make pasta that day. And it's nice to have that freedom, but, at the end of the day, no, I think that there's just the nice thing about pasta is there's so many different avenues I can go down with it and so many things I can do, that it's not like I'm getting sick of it. But, for sure, there's still definitely, and I can cook at home, so I can make, a beef Wellington tonight if I want to make that, if I have an itch to make that. And, I still have that opportunity and that way to do that. but yeah, I mean, I like my sandbox I'm in.
It's a good sandbox to be in.
It is, yeah, if you're gonna pick one, I mean, I think that pasta, and you got to go to Italy, man. Oh my God,
I know, I need to.
Of all the places I've traveled, I mean, I feel like that was like one of the most enjoyable experiences. And sometimes some places are kind of hard to travel because maybe they're like the language barrier or whatever.
Sure.
But the people, the hospitality is so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that was kind of neat. When I went there, I was with a couple of my other friends that were chefs at the time from Pennsylvania, and we all had NFL jerseys on. And we were in Pescara, like right on the coast of the Adriatic Sea. And this big platter of seafood came out to the table. And I'm like, I looked over, I was like, did you guys order this? They're like, no. And the server told us that the table next door or next to us sent it over to us because they thought that we were NFL football players. I was like, maybe I'm the kicker. I don't know. But anyway, that's like so cool. Like you just don't see that in many cultures. And it's like something that I really remember.
Sure.
I know I got a couple last things here for you. I want to be able to find out where people can find you. But before we jump to that, I want to make sure, Chris and Rachel, do you guys have any other questions? I know we're getting kind of up against the hour here.
Yeah, I have two more. The second one for you to answer is going to be like, what are your thoughts about all of these people that they make colorful pasta, but not with natural ingredients? And the first one is going to be actually, which one is your favorite pasta cookbook or book, like with history and everything like that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really great pasta books out there. But the one that I recommend the most is Mastering Pasta by Mark Vetri.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really great, just like fundamental cookbook on the basics of pasta and the understanding of, why you do things and why you add things to it. So that's the one that I, my go-to. And then when it comes to colors in pasta, people do food coloring, and I am not for that. I think if you're going to add color, let's do it the right way, and use natural products, whether it be a paste or a powder, or you're taking herbs and pureeing them. Because one, you're going to get a much more vibrant color, and two, you're going to add another element to that pasta dough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when people are doing food colorings, you got to educate them on there's other ways to do it.
Awesome.
100%. I could not agree more.
Sure.
Following up with the colors, but what is your favorite shape of pasta? And then what is do you have a preference between extruded, shapes, stuffed? Like what's your go-to pasta?
Yeah, I have two favorite shapes. My favorite shape to make is farfalle. And then my favorite shape to eat is tagliatelle. So those two are definitely up there. And then, when it comes to like hand rolled versus extruded, I enjoy them both. I think they both serve a big purpose. They're both very, very different. But yeah, I make both and I enjoy them both.
Awesome. Okay, I just thought of one more question. I'm a huge pasta nerd. Like I'm obsessed.
She makes very good pasta.
I believe
Thanks,
it.
Chef. Do you put oil in your pasta water?
I do not.
Okay, amen. Thank you.
Why is that?
There's no need. Don't waste your oil.
Yeah,
it's an old myth.
I don't do it because I don't feel like the sauce will stick to the pasta as good, because the oil gives it that lubricated feel. So the sauce doesn't coat it right.
I'll see people I'll see like home cooks and like even just kids making TikTok videos that I'm cooking pasta, and they're pouring their parents like expensive olive oil into the water. Like, what are you doing? Like,
right.
Oh my God, yeah. Right. Yeah. And they're like high-fiving each other like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be so good. Like, no, you just wasted $20.
Literally, yes.
So, Ryan, just a couple things here. Just where can people follow you at on TikTok and Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram is Ryan Peters PGH. Pretty easy to find. And then TikTok is at Peters Pasta. That's the one thing that I didn't screw up, but sometimes I regret making that my name, because my last name is Peters, but everyone thinks my name is Peter. So I'll have, it was the worst thing I could have ever done. I mean, it's funny now. At this point now, I just like troll in the comments moments when like people will be like, "Hey, Peter, how's your day?" And I'm like, "Who's Peter?" But yeah, Peter's Pasta on TikTok is where you can find me there.
And what if there's any brands that are watching that might want to collaborate with you? Is there a way that they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, either just shoot me a message. DMs on TikTok are very, very hard, just because there's literally thousands of them that come in. So that gets a little hard. But Instagrams on DMs are very easy, or then email. My email is linked in my Instagram there. So that's always a direct way as well.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, Ryan, obviously, we enjoyed having a conversation with you today, and I've really enjoyed, from the time we first met, just kind of watching your journey. I think it's awesome what you're doing, and I think you've got just so much more exciting runway. And want to send the best to you and your family, and for the holidays. And we'd love to be able to do more with you in the future. I'm sure our paths will cross again soon. But thanks so much for your time.
Thank you guys for having me on. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to you guys.
Much.
Yeah, thanks so much. And when the world's safe, let me know when you're ready to go to Italy. We'll get a trip over there.
There you go.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Thanks, Ryan. All right.
Thanks.
All right,
have a great
guys.
New Year. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Ryan Peters. And thanks to all of you for continuing to watch and support the show. We bring these to you because we want to share people that we think are inspiring. And also, too, we want to learn as well. We want to be able to continue to evolve and learn and become more inspired. That's why we really spend a lot of time picking people, inviting them on the show that we really think that have an interesting story to tell. So I hope that all of you are getting something to help the momentum in your journey, whatever that may be. And also, I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors. Vitamix has continued to support the show. We couldn't do this without them. They're huge supporters and great partners. I even went out to Ohio and had the opportunity to tour the plant, and they even let me put one of the blenders together. So I saw firsthand the quality of their machines, and I'm a huge fan. And again, we want to make sure we affiliate the show with products that we also are excited about. And Vitamix is definitely one of those. And also check out Comey. Comey is our recipe and menu management software that we use for all of our kitchens. It's KOHMEE, and it's actually free. So you can actually download that software and use that for free with your cooks and your sous chefs. It's a great platform. And also thank you to Henkelman. Henkelman for years has been using or has been making these really fantastic vacuum sealers, some of the best ones that are out there. And now, not just making vacuum sealers for sous vide cooking, but they're also getting into vacuum sealing bags. And they're getting ready to launch a whole new line of vacuum sealing bags that have really kind of unique properties. They have one bag that you actually can put in an oven and retherm items. And then also they have a recyclable bag. So we're really excited to be able to launch this product with them. And also thank you to the International Sous Vide Association. Check out their website. They actually have a conference that they'll be doing next year in person. This year, because of the pandemic, they did it virtually, and they did a great job. But if you love sous vide cooking and you're looking for more resources, they are affiliated with like the who's who of sous vide cooking. So check them out as well. And also thank you to Verlasso Salmon. They've been great supporters, providing salmon for many of our events and fundraisers, anything that we've done. They've been great supporters, and they have really great product. I mean, it arrives at our doorstep basically like fresh every time we order it. It's buttery, sustainable salmon out of Chile. It's a great product, and check that out. I think you'll love it, and you can feature it in your kitchens. All right, well, it's another episode, and thank you all. If you want to see any of our past episodes, just check out the website, richrosendale.com, pick podcast, and you'll see everywhere we have the show available. If you want to watch the video version, go to Rosendale Collective at YouTube, and you can watch the video version of all the conversations. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.